Congressman Olivares, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Doon sa presentation ng ating DOTR kanina, talagang comprehensive yung ating railway plan in Metro Manila. Andyan yung ating LRT, MRT, NSCR, subway, at itong ating South Long. Actually, yan yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung problema talaga, yung right of way issue. In my understanding, Mr. Chair, kasi dalawa yung classification ng right of way. Isang formal, yung affected yung may-ari ng lupa, at saka yung informal. Dalawang approach ng ating aabutin dyan eh. Dalawang approach. Yung informal, talagang may relocation na bibigay natin. Actually, noong 2019, I'm the mayor of the city of Parañaque at 100% yung aming right of way issue.
Yes,
Kaya mag-ooperate na tayo ng LRT extension mula Pasay going to Sucat Road, Dr. A. Santos by end of this year. Yon. Yung mga informal settler natin doon, meron tayong mga relocation sa Cavite. Yon, yung ating mga receiving LGU. Katulad sa concern kanina, concern namin nangyari sa Parañaque yan eh. Ayaw tanggapin ng LGU yung receiving na tapos na yung building, tapos na yung bahay kasi may mga hinihingi pang condition. Para lang hindi ma-delay yung ating project, yung LRT1, kami na nagbigay yung LGU ng bahay. Oo, yung aming in-city relocation, doon namin nilagay na yung mga hindi tinanggap ng LGU doon sa ating receiving LGU yung ito. In understanding, napapalitan nyo sa amin yon yung bahay na pinalit namin doon sa inyo para hindi ma-delay yung ating construction ng ating LRT1 until sa Sucat Road. Yung pagdating naman doon sa ating mga formal, ang ating formal, yung mga titled property, doon gumugulo ng konti. Kaya bigyan mo kami ng clarification itong committee ito to our chairman. Paano ba dumadaan yung appraisal noon doon sa lote at saka yung appraisal ng structure? Kasi iba-iba kasi hindi papayag yung may-ari na hindi tama sa market value kapag formal sila kaysa pumunta tayo sa expropriation. So yan po, Mr. Chair, ang problema natin sa dalawang classification pagdating sa right of way, yung formal and informal.
DOTR pa rin ba ang nag-handle ng sige po, Yusek.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. With regards to the formal process of acquisition of private properties, what we basically follow po is the right-of-way law. First is the determination of the alignment, and then the marking of the properties. After the marking of the properties po, after the marking of the properties, we secure the proper documentation for the meets and bounds of the property, the identification of the improvements of such lots, and when a parcellary survey is needed, like for example, if one whole, hindi naman ho natin kailangan yung one whole property, kailangan lang ho natin kalahati o 1/3, a parcellary survey needs to be done, and after which a notice of after a parcellary survey has been done, including identification of the improvements, an appraisal either by a government financial institution or an accredited appraisal company will do the appraisal of the current market value. So dito na lang po sa umpisa pa lang, kuminsan may problema na because sometimes we don't have the cooperation of the landowner. Ayaw ho talagang simula pa lang, ayaw na kaagad magbenta. So ang mangyayari ho, yung appraiser ho natin, hindi ho makapasok sa lupa. Kapag hindi ho, lalo na sa improvement, sa building. Kapag hindi ho makapasok yung appraiser natin, and including machineries, kapag hindi po makapasok yung appraiser natin dito sa mga properties na ito, hindi ho tayo makakaroon ng accurate appraisal, more or less accurate, because siyempre, yung current market value is also something relative, more or less yung appraisal of the landowner. Now, in the event po that the landowner is cooperative, then after the appraisal by the government financial institution or accredited appraisal company, then we issue a notice of taking as well as offer to buy. The purpose of the notice of taking is to prevent any construction or improvements on the pinpointed property for a period of 2 years on the part of the and then we now issue an offer to buy. Now, if the property owner accepts the appraisal, well and good, okay na po tayo doon. Pag hindi, doon ho sa appraisal ho, importante po the appraiser also comes up with an accurate or more or less acceptable appraisal of the current market value. Kasi kung minsan, doon kagad ho nagkakatalo. Kapag mababa ho yung appraisal ng Land Bank or DBP at hindi ho acceptable sa landowner, may problema ho tayo kaagad. So, kailangan din po, balance po tayo. Balance between the interests of government, and that is what current market value means. It's a balance between the interests of government and the interests of the private sector. Now, if the private sector accepts the offer, the appraised value, then we now institute a signing for the deed of absolute sale, and as well as the payment process, of course, subject to availability of funds. So after the under the right-of-way law po, once we we have to pay 50% of the property first, and then after transfer of title, that is the time we pay the remaining balance. However, under the safety guidelines of the ADB and after the payment of the 50% property, pwede na po tayong, under the right-of-way law, we can already take possession. However, under the safety guidelines of the ADB and JICA po, we have to pay full the property prior to actual possession of the property and demolition of the improvement. So, meron pong discrepancy dito between JICA, ADB guidelines, and the right-of-way law. So dito po, may mga, of course, there are some legal queries here. There are some legal issues here. Like for example, basically, we should follow. There should be a symmetry. As much as possible, we should merge and avoid the conflict between international agreements as well as local laws. So if we are to follow the local law in accordance with the international agreements, so 50%, magbabayad ho tayo, pero hindi pa ho tayo pwede mag-possession. Kailangan ho natin sundin yung JICA ADB guidelines na full payment. Pero hindi naman ho tayo makapag-full payment under the right-of-way law, under the local law, unless properly documented and transferred ang title. So, mahabang proseso tayo. Mula pag mayroon hong problema sa extrajudicial settlement of state, may problema ho tayo as estate tax, medyo magkakamot na ho ang ulo ng DOTR o implementing agency dito. So, ngayon pag mayroon isang heir ho na nasa abroad ho, o namatay na ho at marami ho siyang anak ho, hindi ho pumirma ang isa, may problema na naman ho tayo. So,
Sir, if I may,
Opo,
who is funding this project?
this is JICA and ADB po.
JICA and
Opo.
AD. So, bakit po masusunod tayo? JICA pala na pondo yan.
Opo. That's why as much as possible, we are trying to
Because I think yung law natin applicable if we are, well, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. So, because yung laws kasi natin, yung pag-release ng pondo, pagka yung pondo galing sa atin. But if it is coming from outside source like JICA, medyo hindi natin, siyempre dapat ang masunod kung sino yung may hawak nung, after all, ano nila yan eh. And besides, once na nag-execute na ng deed of absolute sale, tapos na ano na yan, na notaryohan na, nabayaran na yung real, yung ano, yung mga dapat na bayaran, like transfer tax, yung mga capital gain, technically, pag-aari na yun ng ano ng estado eh. So, bakit, why do you have to complicate things?
Well, sir, we try to simplify the interpretation as much as possible. Right of way acquisition po is funded by the GAA. But so actually there is, if we try to look into the provisions, the conditions of the local and international law, there is really no conflict. Like for example, the JICA and ADB.
So yung right of way, ang funding is GAA. So yun ang ano no, distinction.
Opo.
Tapos yung project is JICA.
Opo.
Yun. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema. Well, because we have two sources of funding. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Yun.
Ang under the right of way law, once we are able to pay 50%, pwede na ho ang possession. Under JICA and ADB guidelines po, kailangan 100% payment po. So yan ho yung magpapatagal ho. Isa hong nagpapatagal. If it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 properties, okay po tayo. But if it is thousands of properties po, may problema ho tayo. That is a delaying factor po. So yung full payment po na condition po. The other thing po is on informal settlers. On the informal, opo.
Okay, bago tayo magpapunta sa settler. Chair, yung after we exhaust all means in negotiation, kamusta naman yung proseso yung expropriation? Kasi it's a priority project. So kailangan talaga kapag na-exhaust natin yung negotiation at walang nangyari, we have to expropriate the property. And that's good for the state. Good for the country.
Opo. So ang ano po dito po sa expropriation, hindi ho kailangan ng full payment as per JICA and ADB guidelines. So we have now adopted a different tack. Under the right of way law po, after 30 days, pag hindi ho wala hong agreement, pwede na po mag-expropriate. So after 30 days, after the offer to buy, pag wala hong agreement, expropriation na ho tayo. But of course, the problem now, the pressure is on the OSG kasi po, we're not only talking on 10 or 100 properties here po. We're talking of thousands of properties po. And ano po dyan? The likelihood is all this will go through an expropriation proceeding without prejudice to continuing po the negotiations.